Today I'm going to show you how to change out the regular undermount drawer glides that are mounted on many cabinets, probably still today, this day. This is a very popular hardware that's used. And that's how it's set on the cabinets at the bottom edge. Well, I'm going to pull these off and set the new full extension drawer glides that will also carry the weight of the pots and pans that are in here. These are the drawer glides that I'm going to be using. Again, full extension, and also have them somewhat pre-mounted to the block that's got to be used to hold the guide to the sides of the cabinets, because these are face frame cabinets here, and it's going to take a 5/8 filler behind the hinge slides here to get it to hold parallel and true with the opening of the cabinet face. So you'll see that farther down the way, but I got everything all mounted up. I have these only mounted with 2 screws right now because I figure I might have to do something with these. So I'm going to dismount these, the few screws that are in there, and table saw this down from 3/4 of an inch down to 5/8 of an inch. That's all part of that process, and that's what this is about. Hang in there. We'll show you how it's done. We'll start with dismounting this. These have the old slotted screws in there, so swapping out my tip to the flat tip. It's just stuck. Yep. Been on there for a while. Groove, not much more than 1/16 of an inch deep. That gives an automatic feed for the screw to go in. So if that screw, because this is cut with a table saw, that screw point will automatically feed right into that slot, and there's plenty of meat there left over for those screws to grab into the rest of the material. Now I have all of my glides set up this way. So I'm going to have to take the 2 screws out that's holding them on, set the table saw so it's 5/8 of an inch, because the difference in the face frame to the carcass is that much of a difference. So I'll show you here. These are going to go in here too, and it'll be my choice whether I set them here, there, or there, or there, or there. That doesn't matter, because I'll just make the corresponding groove on the cabinet, on the drawer sides, because I'm going to make that very same groove on it, that 1/16 of an inch deep groove. I can screw these in place, and I'll show you how that's done to keep it accurate. And this should be able to come along pretty well after I get this get the final sizes right. And hey, again, stick around. I'm simply choosing an arbitrary number like 2 inches to put the glides to the bottom of the drawer. So you'll see I'm got a block of plywood here that's better than 2 inches wide, because I want to make a test curve to make sure I don't set the blade too deep. I want it to be deep enough to start the screw points. I'm also going to pilot the screws in that groove also. But I'm going to at least get a parallel line started with the bottom of the drawers based on this test cut that I'm making and what I'm going to do to the drawers. It will show later in this video that I'm really doing a total of 3 drawers in this kitchen, and that won't become really evident till later. These recesses that I'm working with or working through inside the kitchen, I just took a random guess that it would be about 3/4 of an inch. Some of these can be 1/2 of an inch. The recesses that is behind the face frame, where I showed you where there were 5/8 of an inch instead of the 3/4 material that I set. I knew I could rip down the 3/4 inch material down to 5/8, piece of cake. Pop 2 screws, run it through the table saw, put the 2 screws back in again, and try it on for size, so to speak. So I'm going to go ahead and break these down, get them to where it's just the pieces of plywood with the grooves in it, just like that, and get these separated out and keep moving. Got my saw set up to hopefully it'll be the right cut. I'm going to check it for 5/8, but then I'm also going to run it on the inside to make sure it's consistent through all the openings, because sometimes the plywood construction can move a little bit. I might have to go to the thinner side so that nothing sticks out beyond that face frame that I have that's 5/8 of an inch that I'm seeing is the case. I've already noticed it on one other thing not related to this part of it. I'm going to go ahead and zip this up and see what it looks like on the inside. Also, since there's staples, glue, I beveled this edge so that when it goes up in that inside corner, any glue or staples that are inside that face frame connection to the carcass, it'll get past that. That way it'll give me an accurate read on where this face is right here with the face of the carcass. I checked all of them, and all these are dead on the face of the carcass, except for one. This is slightly proud of the other, and again, I'd rather have it behind than in front of the carcass edge opening. You'll see that, what I mean, on the inside in a little bit. But I'm going to make one that's about a 32nd of an inch thinner because it does make a difference. Otherwise, the set is great. All right, as you can see, I was matching up where the grooves are lined up. I had to make lefts and right pieces, okay? So my orientation is going to be the groove at the bottom of the piece. So this is the bottom situated. And there's my, actually I'm going to go like this, left and right. So I got the bevel here, the bevel there. So it'll go into that corner of the face frame. And that will help clear all that garbage in those corners. Anyway. So that's what I got with this, and I got this ready to go. Now, what I'm getting at is that I'm going to choose this one here because that's the side that the one is too thin. So I'm going to reset the table saw and clearly mark what this one is about it being a little bit thinner so I don't confuse it with the rest of them. And since they're a matched pair, I'm just marking both of them the same so they can maintain their own space. So we're good to reassemble these back again. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in place. Again, I've already got the carcass cut at 2 inches above the bottom. I know there's a 3/8 of an inch space from the bottom of the drawer to the inside of the cabinet face. And that way I can set everything in place based on what I have now measured, determined, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to get these other guides ready to go. And I'm going to separate these out from their counterparts. And there's a little black lever there. You'll see that they're, just lift that up and they'll separate out. So I'll set these aside. Amazon really hurt me on this. I ordered 3 of the exact same thing, and you can see what I got. I've already showed the homeowner. I'm going to go ahead and swap this out later once the replacements arrive. Okay, so I got to just determine the front, and all I need to do is just simply line up that table saw slot that I made, hold it flush with the front, pilot that hole through there, and go down through the run and pilot everything, set them in place. This is easy peasy, man. Nice grip, good and flush. As you can see, I got the advantage of a nice cush mat right here where I can put the hardware down on top of this without marring the floor. Prior measures that I've taken, I know that the cabinet carcasses that I was working on with the drawer glides, the drawer carcasses. These are the cabinet carcasses, but I was working on with drawer carcasses. I know they run 3/8 of an inch above this piece of this horizontal member right here. So if I take that large 2 inches that I've measured to that center line and added the 2 3/8, then I know that my center lines of my plywood pieces that I ripped down to 5/8 need to be at the center based on 2 3/8. So with that in mind, I'm going to take my handy dandy pencil here and start, I want to cut me a block of wood that's 2 large 3/8 square, so I can just put that right here and then just strike a line across the top of it rather than fumbling with this tape in 6 different spots. A gauge block is really handy in this spot, so I'll be right back. All right, this is what I got. I got my block, it's 2 3/8 square, both directions. All I gotta do is just put it up on top of this, mark it at all locations. And I got to make my lefts and rights known. But fortunately we got the one right here. All I need to do is put that groove, the center of that groove, on the center of that pencil mark. Get that centered on that. That's nice there. Now what I'm going to do is measure this here, which I got 13 and a 16. I'm going to cut a stick 13 and a 16th long and put it in the back. And ideally it would be the same thing on the other side as well. But that's what that stick is going to tell me. Test for a fit up here. It's a nice snug fit. That's gorgeous. All I need to do is just do the same thing down here and screw that in place. Make sure it's square, because the diagonal will not be the same length as one set square. Okay, I'm going to get a couple more screws in there. Gotta make sure there's nothing on the surface here, because that's, if there's anything on the surface sticking out, then that makes that piece thicker than 5/8, and I can't afford that to be any thicker than what it is. I'm not liking that. Seemed like the screw didn't want to draw in all the way, but that's good there. Got one more in the center for good measure, and I might just go ahead and put one there because I have my screw locations already identified. Screw back very nicely. Okay. Now I can just move them over to the other side and do more of the same thing. Okay. Next will be is doing the same thing down here. Again, watching out my lefts and rights, I got that bevel to get past all the garbage that's in this corner here. Gotta make sure it's the same thing in the back that it is in the front. We're going to see how all this laying out is panned out or not, because, well, everything's kind of set and everything's still adjustable, but if I did my math right, everything should be good with the drawer glides. Now the main part of the body, the big part here, if I just simply put them on that line that I have table sawing into that and hold this flush with the face of the cabinet here, everything should just fall right into place. So they tell me. Let's find out. Okay, I don't know if you can see it in the back, but my jimmy bar that held this one piece up, the two upper pieces, I have it kicked in so it's out beyond the edge. So what I'm hoping to do is just simply get the screw started on the tip, and it should get that line right up like that. I'm going to show you on this right here, but you can see how some of these are got like a tab, and that's where I'm putting my screws at. So if this thing does have to flex one way or the other, then that way they can get that little bit of movement to help this thing in and out in its travel. I'm going to make me a couple of blocks because I'm going to use that one. I've got 1.5 inches there. I'm going to make a little block right there that'll hold me on that center line mark, and one more of the other blocks that'll help hold the front up and the back as well. Well, it's time to get these drawer fronts on. I can take this thing in and out, but I really won't know if it's lined up well until I get the drawer front on. So it goes back on its own, and it lines up with the door over here. So that jig worked out right. I might take some shims out because it looks like this side over here wants to close first. So I'm going to run the shims in on my track over this way to help favor this side to go around more. So it's coming out one more time. But I think I'm past the hurdle. I know what I need to do to tweak these things in. You may notice that I'm trifling with this drawer carcass a whole bunch. The hardware is really not acting right, and you'll see later on down the way that it has to be fine-tuned, really critical. That's one thing. But the other thing I'll let you in on right now is that it was a faulty piece of hardware. I had to come back after the drawers were installed after a few days and come back to still work with the self-close feature. The drawer was not going in all the way after they had put their items in, and I found out the left-hand drawer glide was a faulty piece to order another one from Amazon and replace it. With that, it got better. And I still found out that it still had issues. And I don't know why that one set was working the way it was, but all the rest of the drawers were working flawlessly. Closes evenly now. It's just, I gotta get it to where it closes all by itself. They're supposed to be soft closed things, but I hate it when that happens. See, I can spend all day doing crap like this. It's really not cool. Now you want to release. Oh, let's see. We got about a 1/16 of an inch bow in the center of this thing. That might have something to do with it. And this one's good. This drawer actually went in good after I got that bow out. I used a straight edge. You've seen that in one of my earlier scenes. And I got a shim in behind it, so it got rid of the bow. Now the drawer goes in and out and closes nicely all the way through, but it's got to get to that detent to get it to draw in the rest of the way. Learning what I learned there, I went ahead and shimmed the bottom drawer behind the fillers, the amount that I dared. And I double checked those numbers, and I put this drawer in, and that drawer, I won't say flew in, but the detent worked. I shimmed that side and did not shim this side in the back, so it kind of has the drawer going in this area, but yet the drawer meets the carcass of the cabinet very nicely, just like this one does now. All right, everybody, that's got this wrapped up. I have all the drawer glides swapped out to the heavy-duty full extensions compared to the undermount that wasn't even a full extension. This also has a soft close feature to it, too. I still have yet to come back and swap these out because they're the wrong color, but everything's done, everything's lined up very well. So if this is something that you enjoyed watching, please hit that like button. Yeah, thanks a lot for everything, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Nice your way. So even though Amazon screwed up on the order and got me black instead of the zinc finish.